Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari. Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari. Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana. Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana. Yamunatira Vanacharya. Yamunatira Vanacharya. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari. Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari. Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana. Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana. Yamunatira Vanacharya. Yamunatira Vanacharya. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jayantla Pravishtam Vishnupa Paramahamsa Stotara Sata Shimad Divine Grace Sri Bhakti Vedanta Goswami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada Ki. Jayantla Pravishtam Vishnupa Paramahamsa Stotara Sata Shimad Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj Thakur Prabhupada Ki. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai. From Sikho Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Sivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Shyama Kunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhan Ki Jai. Shri Mathura Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai. Shri Mayapur Dham Ki Jai. Ganga Mai Ki Jai. Yamuna Mai Ki Jai. Tulasidev Maharani Ki Jai. Bhakti Devi Ki Jai. Shri Harir Nam Sankirtan Yagya Ki Jai. Granta Rashima Bhagavatam Ki Jai. Nitai Gaur Premanandi. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga. Namaham Shumadev Taleshwar Devara Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jaya Mudiraye Nasta Prayesha Vadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtike Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Reading from 5th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, chapter 3, text 8. Ravida Prabhu, all yours.
But I have a request first.
Sure.
When you read the translation, and you get near the end of the translation, and it says, "But they are meant for us so that we may be benedicted by your Lordship." That word benedicted is not actually a word. There's no verb benedict. So if you could possibly substitute it with the word blessed.
Blessed is the word.
Is okay?
Yes.
All right. Now I'll do my
There's
part.
no verb benedict.
There's no verb benedict.
Unless you're talking about the ex-pope.
Huh?
Unless you are talking about the ex-pope.
Benedict is a noun. You can have it. Okay. Atmana evanusavanam andasa vyatirekena bobhuyamane shesha purushartha surupasya kintu natashisha ashashananam etad abhisangradhanamatram bhavitamarhati.
Very good. Let me try it. Atmanam evanusavanam anja savyatirekena babhuyamana shesha Purushartha swarupasya kintu natashisha ashashananam etad abhisam radhana matram bhavitum arhati. All right. It's good that we both do it. All right. Translation, please repeat. Atmana.
Atmana.
Self-sufficiently. Eva. Certainly. Anusavanam. At every moment. Anjasa. Directly. Avyatirekena. Without stopping. Babuyamana. Increasing. Ashesha. Unlimitedly. Purusha Artha. The goals of life. Swarupasya, your actual identity. Kintu, but. Nata, O Lord. Ashisha, benedictions for material enjoyment. Ashasananam, of us who are always desiring. Etat, this, abhisamradana, forgetting your mercy. Matram, only. Bhavitumarhati, can be. Translation. All of life's goals and opulences are directly, self-sufficiently, incessantly and unlimitedly increasing in you at every moment. Indeed, you are unlimited enjoyment and blissful existence itself. As far as we are concerned, O Lord, we are always after material enjoyment. You do not need all this sacrificial arrangement, but they are meant for us so that we may be blessed by your Lordship. All these sacrifices are performed for our fruitive results, and they are not actually needed by you. Purport. Being self-sufficient, the Supreme Lord does not need huge sacrifices, fruitive activity for a more opulent life. Is for those who desire such material opulence for their interest. Yagyartat karmanonyatra lokoyam karma bandanaha. If we do not act to satisfy the Supreme Lord, we engage in Maya's activities. We may construct a gorgeous temple and spend thousands of dollars, but such a temple is not required by the Lord. The Lord has many millions of temples for His residence, and He does not need or attempt. He does not require opulent activity at all. Such engagement is meant for our benefit. If we engage our money in constructing a gorgeous temple, we are freed from the reactions of our endeavors. This is for our benefit. In addition, if we attempt to do something nice for the Supreme Lord, He is pleased with us and gives us His blessing. In conclusion, the gorgeous arrangements are not for the Lord's sake, but for our own. If we somehow or other receive blessings and benedictions from the Lord, our consciousness can be purified and we can become eligible to return home back to Godhead. Om Agyana Timirandasya Gyananjana Salakaya Chakshurum Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. I was born in the darkest of ignorance, and my spiritual master Srila Prabhupada opened my eyes with the torchlight of knowledge. I offer my humble respectful obeisances unto him. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So, generally speaking, those who follow Vedic Dharma, they have 4 goals in life. Artha, Kama, Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha. Dharma, be pious, be religious. Then Artha, develop economically, and then satisfy your material desires, and then moksha, at the end of life, search for liberation. But nowadays, people are interested only in Artha and Kama, not so much in Dharma and moksha. Isn't? In Vedic times, people were interested to be pious, have dharma, religious principles, and at the end of life they wanted moksha. So even kings would leave their palace and go to the forest, complete renunciation to prepare for death, seek the association of advanced sages. They go to the forest to be alone. They want the association of great sages who live there so that they can make spiritual advancement. That's the whole idea. But nowadays, we see, in America, here in San Diego, we see a very nice arrangement for sense gratification. Everywhere you go is nicely, everything clean, everything, ordered. Everything is nicely, that means they're intelligent, but they're using their intelligence how to satisfy the senses the best way possible. But that's not the goal of life. The goal of life is not sense gratification. The goal of life is self-realization. Coming here, I met one man. He greeted me, Hare Krishna. So he said, "You have a minute, can we talk?" I said, "Yes, okay, we can talk." And then he told me he chant as many Hare Krishna as he can while riding bicycle, and his daughter, because he chant loudly, so people hear him. So his daughter told him, "Don't chant so loudly." He said, "It's good for them. People hear the mantra, it's good for them." So I invited him to come to the temple. He said he's coming tomorrow evening, and he asked me if I know Japataka Swami. He had his name in his phone. Maybe he looked at one of his video or something. I told him, yes. I traveled with him a few times, in South India and different places. Oh, you know him? Yes, yes. We're good friends. Oh, I can't believe that. Yes, it is true. Anyway, so he wrote down my name, and he promised to come tomorrow. He said he will buy japa beads because he saw me chanting my japa. So what is this? This is bead for chanting. 108. Oh, that's the right number. Yes, that's the right number. Can I get one of those? You have a gift shop? Yeah, you can get one. And he has the Bhagavad Gita. I say it's difficult to understand. So you should buy the book Science of Self-Realization. For beginners, it's easier, to understand the philosophy with this book. And he has the Sri Upanishad also. So there are always some people who are interested about spiritual life. Last night also, I was walking in. A couple stopped me to ask me about what I was chanting, if it was a meditation. I said, yes, this is the perfect meditation to recite, listen and chant the names of God, the holy name. We do yoga exercise, breathing. Is that meditation also? Yeah, it could be, but that's not the best meditation. I would recommend you rather chant the Maha Mantra. They repeated the Maha Mantra. So everywhere, that's the advantage. You go out dressed as a devotee. Some people will stop you to ask you something. So in that sense, it's good always to go out dressed as a devotee, You got opportunity to preach. Even when I travel, and by airplane, on the airport, always somebody come to want to know. Even stewardess, all kind of people. Sometimes people ask me, are you a Buddhist monk? I say, no, I'm a Hare Krishna monk. And what is that? Okay, then you preached it. I remember once an immigration officer saw me dressed like this, and he started talking to me in some other language. Maybe Indonesian or something like that, I don't know. And I told him, no, I speak only English, Spanish, You monk? Yes, I am monk. He was Asian. He was Asian, so. Yeah, I'm a monk, but I'm not Buddhist monk. I'm Hare Krishna monk. Oh, okay. So anyway, some or other, we need to remind people of Krishna. Some or other, encourage them to chant the holy name of Krishna. Because Kali Yuga has so much confusion, so much madness going on everywhere. People panicking about the pandemic and all these things. Bhakti Thakur said, Vaishnava should not be afraid of any pandemic or anything. If you leave your body, what's the big deal? And then you leave your attachment to this material world. Think of Krishna, You have to die anyway, one day or other. So you should not be in panic, or take precaution whatever needed, but you should not be like panicking or afraid. Doesn't make sense. Vaishnava should not be afraid of dying. Because Vaishnava, no, I'm not going to die. I will continue serving Krishna. In this world or the next world, whatever Krishna decides for me, but why should I be afraid? Should be no fear. Anyway, this reminds me, one morning walk in the park in Venezuela, one student at that time, Biravaha Prabhu, he told Prabhupada, my professor at college said that this idea that God exists is man-made due to fear of death. Prabhupada looked at him and said, tell your professor that we think of God because of fear of death, then let him solve the problem of death. We don't think of God anymore. But don't ask us to stop thinking of God without first solving the problem of death. Is he not afraid of dying? If some criminal come to rob him, kill him, he will say, yeah, do it. No. He said, please don't do it. Take all my possessions. When the criminal leave, oh, police, help me, you know. So, but they're very proud to admit they are afraid too. Recently, I heard about one big atheist who became a believer of God. I don't remember his name right now, but he said, it is not, I came to the conclusion, it's not possible that a mindless universe can create DNA which is so complex and so engineered in a way that can give life. I mean, it's impossible. So, some religions, they try to recruit him, like Muslim and Christian. He didn't allow, he didn't accept. But he wrote a book called no, not book, another book. Anyway, it said that he now believes in God, you know, scientifically speaking. And that many scientists are open-minded now to believe in that, you know, because they are thinking there are something supernatural about life itself. So, can't be like matter creating life, you know. A mindless universe, how can create life? No? Sometimes New Age people, they pray, oh, if you want something, the whole universe will give it to you, you know. The universe, who's the universe, you know? They have no idea what they're talking about because they have this impersonal idea that the universe is God, no? In one sense, Virat Purusha, Virat Rupa of the Lord, is to help those kind of people who can't understand the spiritual form of Krishna to see the universe in relation to God. I remember once I preaching to one person, and he was having difficulty to understand that God has a personality, a form. I said, okay, if you see God in the universe, you can see that the sun and moon are his eyes, you know, the rivers are his veins, you know, the mountain are his bones, the flying of the birds are his artistic style, whatever. So that's more easy for me to understand, to see it that way. So this Virat Rupa, though imaginary, it will help people who are materialistic to see creation in relation to God and not just an object of exploitation or enjoyment for themselves. No? So here in this verse, coming to so they're glorifying the Lord, saying all the goals of life and opulences are everything is in you, unlimitedly is in you. So what is the use for us trying to offer you all this sacrificial arrangement with great opulence? But actually they are not meant to you. It is for our benefit. It's for our benefit. By doing this, we get benefited. Because they are done for fruitive result. They're expecting some, you know, good result, good karma out of this. But they are actually not needed by you. The only thing that Krishna needs from us is our love, you know, a loving service. Not so much display of big opulence and, you know. Prabhupada said that Krishna doesn't require a big temple, very opulent temple. But if we do such a temple, it is for our benefit. And the benefit of all the people who can come and get the, you know. So it is good for the people in general. But Krishna doesn't require this. He can be worshipped in a very humble way at anybody's home. And he can be pleased if there is devotion, real devotion. He is pleased. He doesn't require these things. But it is good for the people who have the money to use it in Krishna's service by building a nice big temple, to attract the attention of the general public to come. That's for the benefit of people. That's a good way to spend the money in Krishna's service. But it's not like Krishna required this, really. But if somehow or other we receive blessing, if the Lord is pleased with our effort and we receive His blessings, then our consciousness become purified. That's very important thing. In the spiritual life and our Krishna conscious practices daily, we should always know that I need the blessings of the Lord, so my consciousness becomes purified. There's a prayer to Lord Nityananda. Ar kabe nitai chander koruna hoibe samsara basana mor kabe tuchya have. When Lord Nityananda will bless me, so all my material desires and hankering will vanish away. When that day will come, no? So we can know that we are being blessed by the Lord if our consciousness is becoming more purified and our mind is free from the desire for sense gratification. Then we can know, oh, I'm getting the blessing of Lord Nityananda. I'm getting His mercy. So, and once we get the mercy, we should not think it is for granted. We should keep humble and keep in the right mood of service. And always remember, we are fallen souls in this material world. We should regret all our past misdeeds before coming to Krishna consciousness. And we should always try to be meek and humble in the service of the Lord. And that way we avoid committing offenses against other devotees, Sometimes happen when neophyte devotee, they start to feel, strong spiritually, and because they're following good sadhana, and they start becoming a little proud, and sometimes we look down at others, and that is the beginning of fall down, because once a devotee asked me this question, that when we start, practicing Krishna consciousness, we feel enthusiasm, we feel encouraged, but after some years, what happened? Why we lose enthusiasm? Why we get again attracted to sense gratification? And why is that? I said, the reason is when we come new to Krishna consciousness, we see all devotees as saints, and when we have admiration for them, and and like that. But after getting too familiar with the devotees, we start to see their shortcomings and mistakes they do and all this. So we sometimes criticize them. At least mentally, we think, this guy did this mistake, that other get that other mistake, and like that. Then our problems start. We know from Raghunath Bhatta Goswami, he didn't like to hear criticism of devotee, even if they were true. He said, even they are true, I don't want to, to listen to this. Anyway, because by appreciating the devotees, no matter fault they may have, because they're trying to surrender to Krishna, trying to serve Krishna, they are glorious, I heard one story that happened in Vrindavan at the time of the 6 Goswamis. One thief entered the hut of one Vaishnava to steal from him. So Vaishnava had few belongings, so he put everything in a bag, and was trying to get out of the house through the window. But the window wasn't that big, so the sack was caught in the window, with the belonging. So he was trying to pull, to get it out. He was already out of the house. He was pulling, and suddenly he felt somebody helping him, pushing the bag outside the window from inside the house, So he was like, what? I mean, I'm trying to steal from this person. He's trying to help me. That's not normal, you know. So out of curiosity, he entered the house from the other window and to see what was going on. So he saw a sadhu there. And why are you helping me? I'm trying to rob you. Why you're helping me pushing the thing out? I said, that's all right. I mean, if you need it, take it, you know. No problem, you know. But what about you? You also need these things. It's okay. If I need them, Krishna will send. If you need them, take them. No problem. He was completely disarmed, you know. Please, can you tell me what's your name? My name is Narayan Bhat Goswami, one of the assistants of the Sri Goswamis. So he fell at his feet. Please forgive me. I'm a big offensive criminal, and please give me your mercy. And he became his disciple, became a great devotee. Although he came to rob him, you know. So pure Vaishnavas are like that, are merciful even to the most fallen, the most wretched. Prabhupada said Nityananda Prabhu saved Jagaya Madai, but a pure devotee, follower of Nityananda, can save thousands of Jagaya Madais. And it is a fact. It is a fact. Once was Prabhupada giving a lecture, Bhagavatam lecture, and half of the class were sleeping. You know, and Prabhupada was saying, and this movement of Krishna consciousness was spread all over the world due to the mercy of Lord Chaitanya only. And then he looked at his secretary, and he looked at the sleeping devotees, and he told the secretary, and that is a fact. I mean to say, Prabhupada complained many times why devotee fall asleep in his class. He said, if you need to sleep more, sleep 8 hours, you know, 8, 10 hours, whatever, but don't sleep in my class, you know. It's disrespectful, you know. I will remember once I was in Europe, and one sannyasi was giving class, so the devotee in front of him, he was falling asleep, so, get up. The devotee got up and stood next to the, you know, to the asana. And while the sannyasi was giving class, he fell on the sannyasi. He fell on the sannyasi. I couldn't believe it, you know. The tamaguna is very powerful. That's a symptom of tamaguna. No? I've seen devotee walking around Tulasi Arti and falling asleep while walking. Well, that's power of tamaguna. There's no other reason, you know. So we have to be. I've seen too also that. I've seen that too. It's very rare though, but it may happen too. It may happen too. It happened to me when I went to Sankirtan. We go on a bus to go somewhere. And wake up at the end of the route, you know, far away, have to come back. You know. Anyway, Prabhupada said sleep whatever you need so you don't, you know. It's not sleep deprivation movement, you know. If you feel too tired, sleep during the day, 1 hour, whatever, if needed to, you know. But be you know, fully rested so you can do nicely your service. No? Anyway, so it's very important that we understand properly time, place, and circumstances, and our practical needs to perform devotional service. But most importantly is our frame of mind. Has to be favorable to Krishna. Kamsa was thinking of Krishna 24 hours. He was very Krishna conscious. But he was not a devotee because he was thinking of Krishna as his enemy. He wanted to kill Krishna. So But somehow or other, if somebody can be attracted to Krishna, even out of fear, out of lust or whatever, the person get purified. No? I'll tell you a story of one thief, another thief, no? Not the same one. He was trying to steal in one house, and the police came, so he had to run, So the police were chasing him on the streets. And he saw a temple packed with hundreds of people. So he got mixed up with the people, the police couldn't find him. So he stayed in the temple. He said, I will stay here, whatever time needed, so until the police go away. And there was a lecture in the temple. So he had to sit there with everybody. And the lecturer was describing Krishna's beauty in Vrindavan, how he was nicely dressed, and then he started, and he was describing the ornaments and said Krishna has a necklace made of gold with blue sapphires and emeralds and, all kind of, valuable stones. The thief became very interested to hear this. After the lecture finished, he approached the speaker. Can you please tell me where this Mr. Krishna lives, please? Sri Krishna lives in Vrindavan. Oh, thank you very much. You want to go pilgrimage? Yes, I would like to. Okay. So the man went to the train station to find out how costly was the ticket. He was in South India, far away. So he found out. He went to his home and told his wife, my dear wife, today I almost got caught by the police. I escaped because I hid in a temple. But I heard about a very rich man named Krishna. So I'm planning to go to steal from him. But I don't have money to buy the ticket, the train ticket. So please give me the gold earrings that I gave you the other day to sell them, buy the ticket. When I come back, I will buy you 4 pairs of earrings. Don't worry. Okay, you know what you're doing. So the man arrived in Vrindavan, and as soon as he entered Vrindavan, he saw the people passing through. He saw one with japa bead in his hand. Oh, please, can I ask you a question? Yes. Can you please tell me where is the house of Krishna? Oh, you're looking for Krishna's house? Yes. Can you tell? Oh, that's in Nandagram. But at this time, Krishna's not in his house. He must be with his brother Balaram and his other friends, herding the cows, the forest around Nandagram. So are you coming to search for Krishna? Yes, I came to search. Oh, you're so fortunate. Who knows, if Krishna give you his mercy, you may see him. Oh, thank you very much. So he went to Nandagram and searching for Krishna day and night, searching for him. He would not find him, of course. But the man was like for a full week almost not being able to sleep or eat properly. And he was searching, I have to find this Krishna to steal that necklace from him. And after like a week or so, his desire became more intense, like the hunger of a lion who've been fasting for a week, very intense. Then one day he saw Krishna sitting on a rock underneath the shadow of a tree with his cows around him, So he became very happy. He approached and he saw Krishna, offered obeisances. Oh, Sri Krishna. And he noticed the necklace, So he immediately made up a story. He said, Krishna, I'm coming from your house, and your father told me that could be some thieves around here. So please give me the necklace to take home for safekeeping, And Krishna said, no, there are no thieves around here. I am the only thief. Krishna is very expert in stealing butter and yogurt and all this thing. I remember when I joined the movement, I gave books to my friends and family members to read, So one day my younger sister asked me, oh, I read the book, I like it, it's nice, but I have one doubt. Ask me, but don't be offended, she said. No, I will not be offended. Ask anything you want. All right, I don't understand why you worship a God who's a thief and a liar. I say, why do you say that? I told you not to be offended. No, I'm not offended. I'm curious to know why you think that. Well, because I read in the book that Krishna steals butter and yogurt, and when he caught, he denies it. It's not only thief, he's also a liar. Yeah. So I told her, okay, let me try to explain to you. Be open-minded. But first thing, I'm going to ask you to accept, at least theoretically, that Krishna is the Supreme Lord. He's God. She said, okay, theoretically I can accept. I told her, then, if he's God, that means he created the whole universe. That means all the yogurt and butter in the whole universe belongs to him because he created everything. So if he say, I'm not stealing, he's saying the truth. How can you steal from yourself? He said, wow, that makes sense. I never thought about that. Thank you, Then she asked, then why he does it? Oh, because he like to have fun. You think only you can have fun? God also like to have fun, But when he steals, he's glorified. And the people he steals from, they are very pleased, very happy. In this material world, the thief is condemned. Nobody likes him. But when God is still, he's loved and glorified, So, anyway, what I was saying before that, the thief. So the thief argued, no. Mother Yashoda also asked me, please don't come back without bringing this necklace. It's very important for safekeeping. And Krishna said, maybe you are the thief. And the thief said, yes, Krishna, to be truthful, yes, I'm the thief. But you are so beautiful, so rich, so kind, merciful. You must have many of those necklaces. One less is nothing for you. Please give me this. I'm a poor man. I'm in need. And Krishna was arguing with him lovingly, smiling at him and giving some argument, and the thief giving some. At the end, Krishna took off his necklace to give it to the thief. But the thief fell at Krishna's feet crying, no, Krishna, I want just to be your servant. I don't want anything from you. He became a great devotee by Krishna's mercy. The same thing happened with the demon, Ravana's sister, Shurpanaka. She saw Lord Ramchandra in the forest, and she was lusty for his beauty. He was very beautiful, very handsome. So, although she's a Rakshasi, she's horrible looking, but she has mystic power. She became very beautiful and young, and she came and openly told Ramchandra, I'm very much attracted to you. Please marry me. Ramchandra said, well, I'm flattered, such young, beautiful girl, but I'm already married. Here is my wife, Sita Devi. But my brother Lakshman is free. Go to him. So she went to Lakshman. Oh, you are also very handsome and beautiful. Please marry me. Lakshman said, I'm also very flattered, but you're such beautiful young girl, and it's my great fortune. But I'm only a servant of my brother. He's the king, You don't want to marry a servant. You must go and insist on him. So she went back to Ramchandra to insist, please accept me, He said, yeah, I know kings can marry more than one wife, but I made a vow, ekapatni vrat, only one wife. I'm sorry, here is my wife Sita, please forgive me. When lusty desire not satisfied, then anger comes. Then Shurpanaka became very angry, and she wanted to jump on Sita to harm her. She took her original ugly form, with big nails, And then Lakshmana chopped off her nose and ears, and she went crying, Anyway, but in her next life, she was born in Mathura as Kubja. And when she saw Krishna entering Mathura, that attraction awakened again in her. She was a servant of Kamsa. She made sandalwood paste for Kamsa's service. But when she saw Krishna, that attraction was still there. So she ran to Krishna and started smearing Krishna with the sandalwood pulp on his arm and his face, decorating Krishna like this. Balaram was there watching everything in surprise. And Krishna felt so grateful for her spontaneous, service. Then he decided to reward her. So he stepped on her feet and grabbed her cheeks and pulled her up, and the hunchback disappeared. And she was 16 years old only, but she looked ugly because of the hunchback. But once she became a normal, she was very beautiful, good, attractive girl. And she invited Krishna to her house. And out of mercy, Krishna went to her house and touched her body with his lotus feet. And all the lust in her disappeared completely. She became a pure devotee. So Krishna is so kind and merciful. Some or other, if one get attracted to Krishna, one gets so much blessings. Even demons get the opportunity. There is in the Nectar of Devotion, there is a statement by one demon saying that I do not fear Krishna. Even if he comes to kill me, the only thing I have to do is to surrender at his lotus feet, and he will give me protection. A very intelligent demon. Anyway, so the conclusion is that although there are these four Vedic goals in life, Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha, Lord Chaitanya came to bring the fifth goal, highest goal than these four, even higher than Moksha. He came to give Prema Pumarto Mahan, the highest blessing, Krishna Prem, love of Godhead. That's above Moksha even. No? In his prayers, Shri Shastaka, he say, Ayinanda tanuja kinkaram patitam mam vishame bhavam buddho kripaya tava pada pankajastita duli sadrisham vichintaya. O son of Maharaj Nanda Krishna, I am your eternal servant. Some or other I fell to this material world. Please rescue me and put me as a speck at your lotus feet, as a dust at your lotus feet. No? And he said, Nadanam najanam nasundarim kavitam ba jagadisha kamaye mama jammani jammanishwari bhavatat bhakti rahaito kitvayi. I do not want mundane followers, najanam, nadhanam. I don't want to accumulate riches, money. Nasundarim. I don't want beautiful women. I don't want to enjoy beautiful women. What to speak of the ugly ones? That's made by me. Anyway. No, he didn't say that. and then, okay, if you don't want nothing of these things, then you want liberation from this world. If somebody doesn't want any of these things, then what else he will want? But I say, no, Mama Jammani Jammanishwari. Life after life, I just want your loving service. Nothing else. He also rejected liberation. Why? Because he was already liberated. Actual liberation means to be free from material desires. That's liberation. It's not liberation to go to Vaikuntha or to go to the Brahmajyoti. Actual liberation means to be free from material desire and to have the desire to love and serve Krishna. That's real liberation. Isn't it? All right. Thank you very much. Any comments or questions?
Hare Krishna.
Okay. Here is our regular customer.
Maharaj, my humble obeisances. Maharaj, my question is related to purity of consciousness in order to go back home, back to Godhead.
Yes.
You know better than me that a person can be recognized as having pure consciousness if he, for example, neglects to rob a bank. So my question is it that to neglect to rob a bank is purity enough related to consciousness in order to make me go back to Godhead?
Not just to rob a bank, to rob anything. Prabhupada said everyone in this world is a thief and a criminal. Why? One may ask. Sometimes I preach, people say, well, if I don't steal from anyone, I don't cheat anyone, I don't kill anyone, I'm okay. I said, the problem, you are killing and you are stealing. How? Well, by eating meat, you are helping to kill the animals. And by not offering everything to the service of the Lord, you are a thief. Because everything belongs to Him. So you don't need to stop robbing a bank to be a good person. You have to stop robbing anything. Because our own body doesn't belong to us. Our body belongs to Krishna. It is His property. So we shall use it for His purpose, for His service. Otherwise we are thieves. That's better understanding. So please don't rob a bank.
Yes, Maharaj, I won't do it. Thank you very much. A
Hare
wonderful
Krishna.
answer to my question. Hare Krishna.
Haribol. Haribol.
Thank you. You mentioned the how someone new to devotional service will have a lot of enthusiasm and will see Krishna consciousness as so wonderful, which it is. But then over time, then it may not appear as wonderful, and they may lose their enthusiasm. And then explained it as that's what happens when one's new. When he's seeing all devotees as very great souls, as all pure devotees, or however it is. And then over time, one will start to find devotees, and therefore then they lose their recognition of all the wonderful things about Krishna consciousness, and they lose their taste for it, and they lose their enthusiasm. So I've heard this a number of times, this concept or this explanation, and I'm wondering if it's mostly a common sense thing or a logical thing, or if it's like a good observation, or if it's also coming from a particular, like if it's in Bhakti Sundar Sindhu or Madhurya Kadambini, because it makes sense. I'm wondering if I've heard it from several people, so I don't know if
It's a common sense, logical thing that happens. The devotee have experience of this, so they share their experience. We learn from them, and we try to not to commit the same mistakes. So one solution to this type of problem is we have to see that the devotees, although they may have faults, whatever, their goal is to please Krishna, to serve Krishna. They want to return to Krishna. So they have a high ideal in their life, and that is enough to overlook their shortcoming, their small mistakes, So we shall always know the person ideal, what ideal they have in their life. If the ideal is good, is great, then the person is also should be honored, although they may not be perfect, But because they have a good, higher goal in their life, then we should respect that.
I've also heard it presented, and this, I'm wondering if I maybe read this and I just forgot where, if I didn't read it and I only heard it, but however it is, I heard the other explanation that someone new to devotional service will also, will see everything as so wonderful and be so enthusiastic and just be, ecstatic or however, and then over time that will fade, and then it's explained that actually the initial recognition of the wonderful, nature of Krishna consciousness, that initial appreciation wasn't really like earned, or it wasn't really coming out of actual realization. It was like given like a taste by Krishna, or was given as like just like a little taste, just to give them the enthusiasm to continue, kind of like they get it and then it's kind of gone, but then they'll continue because the initial enthusiasm wasn't really theirs. It was just kind of like a causeless mercy experience.
Yes, of course. Sometimes Krishna may give us a drop of nectar, so we become attached to it, and then Krishna wants to see that we are making our effort to keep having it, to increase it, to desire it more, What is that saying? Absence meant the heart fonder. Okay, so that's Krishna's trick also. And besides that, technically there is two stages of devotional service. One is called Anishtita Bhakti and Nishtita Bhakti. At the beginning, Anishtita means unstable, unstable, up and down, you know. Sometimes you feel great, enthusiastic, another day you feel down, you know, lose enthusiasm. That's called Anishtita Bhakti, unstable devotional service. So if one keep making the effort and praying for the Lord's mercy, one can overcome this unstable stage and come to the stable stage. It's called Nishtita Bhakti. Nishtita comes from the word Nishta. When one achieved Nishta, fixed, you know, it's firm faith, you know, after Anartha Nivritti, we give up our Anarthas, struggling with the Anarthas, and then come the stage of Nishta. And Nishta, your faith is fixed, you know. So then you don't have this, you know, up and downs, you know. You are more stable, more fixed. Then Ruchi comes, you know. Then the taste, you know. You develop a taste for it. It's like breathing. Thinking of Krishna becomes like breathing.
And then is the that second example, or the second explanation, is that, again, I should know, but is that coming from a particular area of Shastra? Like, is that coming from the pastime with Narada or with Parikshit?
That's in the Shastra, of course. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur explained those stages.
Or is that not the stages, but like the idea of like a drop of kind of causeless mercy, to like the really, like give you a small taste, aside from like the Nishta part, but like the idea of like Krishna reveals a little bit of like gives a small
That's in the
taste,
Chaitanya Charitamrita also. Krishna said, this man come to me to ask me for poison. Why should I give him poison? Rather I give him nectar. But he gave enough nectar so one can make the effort. Krishna doesn't want to make things easy for his devotees. He wants them to make effort all the time. Like for example, Prabhupada's Guru Srila Bhakti Sundar Saraswati Thakur, he always liked the rented houses. He will not buy houses. And he always make the temple always in debt. So the devotee have to, you know, make effort to pay the debt. And once the debt is paid, he will get another debt to print books, to, you know, whatever, or everything for Krishna's service, of course. But he always wanted the devotee to make effort, not to be complacent, you know. So Krishna doesn't want us to be complacent. So he may give a drop of nectar with the idea that we have to make our effort to make further advancement, to you know, Prabhupada say, first deserve, then desire. To deserve means you make your effort. You sincerely try to please Krishna by your effort. So once a devotee asks Prabhupada, Prabhupada, how can I please you? Prabhupada say, your desire to please me pleases me. So it's all about that. Krishna consciousness is all about that. The purity of our thoughts, the purity of our intention, the sincerity of our effort. That's the main thing. That's all about, actually. Hare Krishna.
This falling asleep thing.
You found something?
Well, this Madhurya Kadambini is very systematic, and it has this explanation of laya, the 5 obstacles to getting Nishtha Bhakti, just what you're talking about, Nishtita Bhakti. And the first one he lists is laya, which is the weakness of being more soporific, tendency to fall asleep, during hearing about the Lord than while chanting His names, and more soporific while remembering the Lord than during hearing about Him. There's a technical thing, you know. I mean, chanting, okay, in kirtan, you hardly find anyone falling asleep in kirtan, right?
Yeah, that's very
okay,
difficult. Yeah.
But even during japa, you know, that's
in japa is easier to fall asleep.
But my understanding of this, now maybe this is complete speculation, but you can smash it if you like, that it's more than just the fact that you didn't get enough sleep last night, or that you had too many pakoras last night, or whatever. But the mind is actually rejecting. You know, if you're hearing some description of some, you know, sense gratification,
you become alert.
But this description, I have to surrender to Krishna. You know, the mind is is rejecting that and automatically, and because I've noticed that sometimes the people there's no way they can stay asleep during a class. That's the whole thing of stand up.
Yeah.
It's rare, but you say even when they stand up, you can fall over onto the sannyasi. I've never seen that before. It's more than just getting enough sleep. It's also a question of developing.
tamagun.
Yeah, the taste.
The
Otherwise
mind
the mind is
rejecting.
rejecting and crash.
Due to the influence of tamagun.
Yeah.
Of course. Very good. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Gaur Premanandi Hari Bol. Radhe, Radhe. Okay.